Well, now we have this tweet from the Libertarian Party of Louisiana. Whether you're a citizen, legal resident, or undocumented migrant, you deserve the right to defend yourself and your loved ones. Rights are for everyone. Arm the migrants. The purpose of the Second Amendment is to protect people and their rights. Those under attack deserve the right to defense no matter where they're from. The reason why I say this is officially the death of the Libertarian Party's chances at anything is that in this country you have Democrats, moderates, Republicans, independents, all in agreement that there is a crisis of illegal immigration and crime. And now the Libertarian Party of Louisiana publicly announced we should give guns to these people.
Yeah.
Now, I know it's just the Libertarian Party of Louisiana,
right,
but we know how branding works.
Yes, it's not beneficial to the broader movement, in my opinion. In my estimation, no disrespect to the LP Louisiana, but they are the Funhouse Mirrors version of the LPNH of New Hampshire. And you know what? The people that love this messaging absolutely despise me, and they despise Libertarian Party of New Hampshire, and they despise Dave Smith, and they despise Ron Paul, and that's fine. If you want to have that fight, we can have it. As I said, the delegates will decide. Do you want to uphold the vision that Ron Paul had moving forward and elect someone like myself to be our representative, or are you interested in going in the complete polar opposite direction?
I'll jump to this story from the Post-Millennial. Federal judge rules illegal immigrants can possess firearms under 2A. Now, at first, I tweeted, don't care, Second Amendment, we should just be able to defend ourselves. But someone instantly made the correct point that as criminals, they actually have a due process restriction on those rights. And yeah, actually, I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Typically, when it comes to constitutional rights, they can be restricted through due process. However, considering these people are already determined to have entered the country illegally, the crime is an afterthought. Criminal status is inherent in criminal alien. Therefore, they should not be able to possess firearms as they are criminals.
Well, I got to tie it right back into Clara Piven. If Donald Trump is to be reelected and he is to do, as he's promised many times, the largest deportation plan in American history, well, if you're going to arm the migrants, that's going to make this a very tumultuous, as Luke Rudowski might say, situation.
Tumultuous.
I think the unfortunate reality is no matter what ends up happening, if the end goal was to create an authoritarian machine,
exactly,
it is inevitability.
Exactly.
Right
but that's
now,
the game.
We have Donald Trump will get elected, and when he does, he will begin deporting people. They will begin going after corrupt individuals, and they will move towards a security state in an effort to stop the crime created by Democrats. I see no other solution to dealing with the security issues in our cities and crime and illegal immigration. I suppose perhaps the answer is our communities need to be stronger. We need to defend ourselves. We need to go to either community centers once a week to meet our neighbors or church, whatever it may be. But short of that happening, what likely will happen is in the event Trump gets elected and begins to enact what we would feel as a cleanup, he will not be president forever. And then if Democrats make a move in 2028 and inherit any of these powers, then we're just in for hell.
Then we're screwed, yeah. Well, that's the thing.
So it's a rock and a hard place.
Your enemies are going to use the same things that you put aside for yourself.
Exactly. And this is exactly why I was pushing back earlier and saying, let's let New York go, because I would rather have just hear me out. The reason I'm saying that is because I want to have the Floridas and the Texases of the world allowed to uphold my beliefs. This country is divided
Texas
irreparably.
Is on the brink.
Well, that's true. It is.
Yes, but the idea that like communists have taken New York, so we better let them take it.
Well,
that's insane.
Here's the reality. You could say it's insane. You can say it's insane, Tim, but here's the reality. Those people have all of the institutional power. What you're advocating for now is far more likely to be used against you than you will ever use it against them.
Welcome to war.
Institutions, yeah.
I'm not interested in war.
Which side were you on? Which side? Who are the good guys in the Civil War?
I don't think there was
the ones that didn't fight.
Right. Well, I don't know about that. You had slavery. That should not exist.
Right.
But then you had Abraham Lincoln being like, let's arrest politicians and judges. Let's arrest people without cause and without...
Right.
One guy famously got arrested and was locked up, and he refused to cooperate. He was like, screw you, F off. He was in Maryland, and they created a corridor from D.C. to Maryland, from D.C. through Maryland to Pennsylvania, where they suspended habeas corpus and just arrested random people who they thought were troublemakers.
Yep.
They arrested, I think it was like, 26 members of the Maryland state legislature for having Confederate sentiment.
That's basically what Ketanji Brown Jackson was arguing for in the Murphy versus Missouri case the other day. Well, not arguing for. She's not supposed to argue for anything, but there she was out there saying, "Doesn't the government have the right to basically violate the First Amendment in a time of crisis?"
Let's try this.
It's horrifying.
Why didn't the Confederates march after the first Battle of Bull Run into D.C.?
You tell me. I don't know.
They didn't think there was a war. They thought that was it. We repelled the North. The North invaded the South, and we pushed them back. It's over. And then the North said, we need more troops, more people go. And it expanded the Civil War. So when you talk about we should have a national divorce, we should let these states go, those states don't stop. The communists who are in those states aren't going to be like, yay, we're independent now. They're going to say, okay, send the police down to Jersey. Jersey's ours next.
Yeah.
And then you're going to go, you can have Jersey. Then they're going to go, okay, Maryland, you can have Maryland. Now Rhode Island. It's all yours, all yours. And then eventually all you have is Florida. And then they surround Florida and they go, and now we will do what you did not, and we will take you by force.
This is always the biggest debate when it comes to military conflict is where do you put your feet in the ground? Are you willing to fight at this point, or do you think it's more prudent and practical to withdraw, reinforce, and re-up? I don't know what the answer is. But at my core, I'm extraordinarily against war. So I'm going to avoid it until it's the absolute last option.
That's
and
the
I think,
Quaker
and it is not war. It is the prevention of war for Donald Trump to criminally charge under our constitutional laws in the legal process the corrupt individuals in these states. Look, Fani Willis is accused of perjury. The guy she was dating who resigned was accused of perjury. Yeah. The judge telling them to break up confirmed there was an improper relationship, but then doesn't penalize Fani Willis in any way.
Right.
Okay, there needs to be a criminal investigation there.
The Trump lawyers have permission to appeal on that.
And Donald Trump
appeal that ruling,
getting into office and then saying, I want my AG to investigate perjury and crimes. Hunter Biden accused of perjury. In this hearing
How
today
is he not
with
in
Bob
contempt of
Yalinsky,
Congress
this is amazing.
right
Bob Yalinsky testifies that Jim Biden is in text records confirmed to be at a meeting that he said to Congress he did not attend. That's perjury.
Right.
It is not declaring war for Trump to be like, okay, well, the law should be upheld.
Well, here's the issue. Will Trump do any of what you're describing? And I've said it many times. If Trump's rhetoric matched his actions, there could be some hope for a second term of him. But when it comes to going after, we're talking about the most deeply embedded, most powerful institutions that have ever existed. And it's one man who's facing 750 years in prison and $500 million fine right now.
What do you think Trump's doing right now? If the concern really was that Trump would do nothing, Trump would have immediately gone to the deep state and said, I'm not going to run again. Leave me alone. Let me go live in my golden toilet. And they would have said yes. Instead, he says, I declare war.
Well, maybe.
And he's got five cases against him.
Maybe, or they would have come after him regardless because they want to send a message to any political dissident in this country that if you challenge us, you go away forever.
I think Trump could have easily gone to them and said, it's over. I'm just going to be an old man on my golden toilet. And they would have said, okay.
And I wouldn't have blamed Trump if he had gone that route.
And my point is, the fact that Trump is actually fighting all of this indicates when he gets in, it is going to be fire and brimstone.
You might be right. Or it could also be out of desperation that he realizes if he doesn't prevail in this election, he's going to prison for the rest of his life.
So then when he gets elected, what does he do? Go, now I have 4 years to hold off the deep state?
Yeah. Well, he's got if he has learned the lessons. The reason I'm skeptical, other than what happened in 2020, is because he has already allegedly said he's not going to have Vivek as his VP. I think that he needs
he's going to put him in a
that.
cabinet position, put him head of Homeland Security.
Is that the report? Okay, I don't know.
Right. So when Trump says, no, Vivek, you're not going to be VP. I'm considering you for head of Homeland Security or Secretary of Homeland Security or whatever the position is. That sounds more like he goes, Vivek, you need to do what you said you're going to do. I'm going to put you in the position to do it.
Okay.
Well, VP wouldn't do anything.
Then that's great.
The VP doesn't do anything. Just look at Kamala
I am
Harris.
not
VP's
saying
a life insurance policy, and he should definitely have Vivek as his VP.
This is my point. Like, if you're going to challenge the deep state, you got to have an insurance.
Whoever he picks needs to be worse than him.
Yeah.
Well, and he needs somebody,
select me, Trump.
Right, so that
I'm right here, buddy.
So that nothing happens to him.
Who would be a good, like Vermin Supreme would be great.
It's got to be Vivek.
Oh my
Yeah, because they'd be like, that's basically a threat.
I feel like what we really need is someone who could go out there on the campaign trail and like be as strong at rallies and things as Trump is.
Well, Vivek's the only guy in the GOP I've seen do that even close.
Yep. Yeah, that's the challenge. But putting the rumor is Homeland Security, in which case that's very much likely Vivek firing everybody.
He would fire everybody. He said he would
I
fire
know.
everybody.
Well, that's
He
fantastic.
would fire everyone and then deport everyone.
I was interested in him as AG because I think that prosecutions is what's really, really
yeah,
necessary.
but that's what Cash can do.
Maybe
Yeah,
if
I
it goes with
know.
cash, that'd be interesting. Look, there's lots of options and there's lots of reasons for optimism. I'm just saying this dude is up against it. Like they are throwing everything they
Look.
have at him, and they haven't even really begun to fight. They can go way harder.
We don't know. We don't have any guarantees that Trump walks into the White House, throws off his jacket, and he's just got like he's been working out, he's ripped, and he's like, you have no idea what comes next. I wish. Perhaps what we get is just a little bit, just firing of bureaucrats. You get a cabinet that actually starts dealing with crimes, actually starts enforcing the law. It shudders what we're seeing with Georgia and New York and this Democrat corruption. It may be Joe Biden is all they have left. Who do they have for 2028? They got nothing.
What about Newsom?
Probably
No.
that's about it.
Newsom, like,
American Psycho.
I got to tell you, Newsom has, I don't know, a B minus, right? Trump has X factor. Biden certainly doesn't. But they squeezed everything they could out of universal mail-in voting and this shadow campaign, they called it in Time magazine, to make sure Biden won. But Biden also did, to be fair, have that Obama nostalgia effect. After him, Michelle Obama is a maybe, but she clearly doesn't want to do it. We'll see. But they do not have any backbench. It may be that after Trump, there's a huge Republican backbench. I mean, Tulsi Gabbard's effectively a Republican at this point. People are talking about her as potentially VP. She's moderate. That, like, you've got a wide range of Republican potential candidates for 2028. Unfortunately, it's not DeSantis, but, that's his own fault.
Yeah. What I'm disappointed in is that, not even setting the Trump issue aside, is just that there hasn't been any justice for the 2020 era that has come from the conservative ran House. And it's like that was the one thing, with the Thomas Masseys and the Rand Pauls of the world, those are my people. And the fact that we haven't seen, any criminal charges that are being brought, and I know it's Biden's AG, but it's like, man, we need to have repercussions for what they put us through.
Look at what they did to Delaware, right? So so they had Hunter Biden, they had charges for him. The IRS was like, hey, there's definitely charges here, and they essentially colluded so that Hunter Biden didn't face any charges. And then the guy who was appointed to be the special counsel to investigate Hunter Biden is the Attorney General for Delaware, who used to chill with Beau Biden.
Yep.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. Hang out with us live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. and become a member over at timcast.com for uncensored, members-only shows exclusive. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.